Right now we're
Man,
launching
you know,
this platform, and we got the Nature Boy on again. This is the Hut 9 from Mind TV. I want everybody out there to switch your minds on because we're about to provoke some thought and inspire some thinking. You see what I'm saying? So just buckle up and let's go. So Nature Boy, talk to us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and what you've been up to, and what's really going on in this time.
peace, God. Yeah, we are on a journey, man. This life thing, this dream that we're on, and I just awoken, if you can imagine, you being asleep throughout your whole life to gain the information to wake up at a certain point.
Okay.
And then come to an awareness that's like, okay, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, say if you was to leave this realm this time, right, and come back again, and then you awaken to your purpose and yourself, and you realize who you are, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
When did the awakening happen for you? Around what time?
2012, man.
2012.
Yeah.
You know what, brother?
Amazing event, man.
Tell us about what was the build up and all of that was like, because I've been feeling like different since 2011, to be real with you. And I've seen more and more things unveil and more things happening to bring the proof or the truth of that there's a new energy. Something is happening. You know what I mean? It's almost like the ripening of the fruit. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what's it's like we've arrived at this place at this time, because people sometimes get lost in their conceptualization of where we are and what we're on. We're traveling, I like to tell people that we're traveling, and the earth is not sitting in one place, it's going wherever the sun goes. And you know what I mean? So we're always moving, and sometimes when you even look at some of the things that's going on with the weather, and people say, oh man, it looks it's strange out, it's cold now and it's hot, when it's supposed to be cold, and all these strange things that may seem strange because like some of us don't realize that the earth has been doing this for billions of years. And so certain times when we get into to different places in our solar system, we're going to experience different kinds of activities, and there are going to come times where we will fall into a certain pockets where we'll be asleep, and like you say, now we're waking back up. You see what I'm saying? So because they just said we moved out of the age of what, Pisces, right?
Right.
And we're supposed to be in what comes after Pisces? Aquarius.
Yeah.
Okay, but I want you to get. I mean, I'm all into nature. That's my thing. You know what I mean? I love nature. So I wanted to have this conversation with you for a while, and I'm glad we finally got a chance to build tonight. You know what I mean? I want you to just just go in, brother, and share some of that wisdom and some of that fire that you share with us on Facebook.
Yeah, brother. To hoot, right? To hoot, right?
To Hut 9.
To Hut 9. To Hut 9.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So in 2012, my career in what I call the Caucasian third dimension, which is the world that we were raised in. I just awoken, man. Like I had gotten to the schedule. I was a barber in this barber shop. Got into the schedule of cutting hair every day, and anybody out there that's a barber can relate that your days go into each other. We don't have a weekend or anything like that, so it became like this matrix.
Yes.
Going to work, doing the same haircut all the time. But all throughout my life, I've always known that I had something to do bigger than, and a lot of us out there feel this. We go through life knowing like, something ain't right. I got something I'm supposed to do bigger than this. You know what I'm saying? And you feeling that, and then you try to place yourself at the biggest thing that you can imagine within what you've seen, but your purpose is actually bigger than you could even imagine. So I never forget the day. You know, it's a funny story because I snapped. I literally I snapped. And I just quit my job. I was like, are y'all crazy? This is crazy. We're doing the same haircuts every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, even in this barber shop, and they looking at me like, I'm like, we belong outside. We belong in the sun. Don't y'all get it? Like, we're sun people.
Wow.
We're not giving them sun. You know, we were supposed to be in the sun. And I just kept saying the sun. And I remember this. And I'm like, and the fire in me, I just, you know, from that, you know, point on, I wanted to understand why we were black, why we were dark skinned, why are we indoors all day? Things that were in my mind I ignored. I wanted to understand, and luckily we're in the information age, so it's all out there. And so my research, I became this perpetual learner, and I trapped myself inside, and I did not want to do anything but learn. You know, that's it. That's it. I just had so many questions, and I just started researching all these questions and anything that ever came to my mind. And then I wanted to get the details of it because when I explained it, I wanted to explain it to the point where nobody could really, you know, debate it, you know, because it would be like actual fact. So first thing first, I go to sleep one night and I go to sleep. I don't know if you ever heard this guy, InfoWars.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
guy,
That's Alex Jones.
InfoWars. Alex, Jones. Yeah. So I go to sleep to his channel one night. And at the time, I had a girlfriend, and you know, with children. She had children. We had a little, you know, what I mean, we was all staying together. And I remember I left the YouTube on because I had the Xbox on. I left it on his channel, and you know, his voice is like, you know what I'm saying? So I go to sleep to this, you know what I'm saying? I nod off, right? I nod off.
Yeah.
But then I know my eyes are closed, but then I open my eyes, but my eyelids was closed. You see what I'm saying?
That's
I
deep.
opened my eyes, but my eyelids was closed, and I knew they were closed because I could sense my body, but I was not my body. And what I did was I got up out of my body. I got out my bed, and I was watching the TV. But I didn't have a body. I didn't have a body, like a physical. I couldn't look down and see my legs, but I was out of my body. You see what I'm saying? And I'm watching the TV. And when I'm watching the TV, it's Alex Jones breaking down all the... Can we curse on this?
Yeah, you could curse. Go ahead, brother. You know.
Okay. We breaking down all the shit that's in the food. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
So he's breaking it all down, and I'm watching it. Mind you, I'm literally looking at me and my girl laying in bed while I'm doing this, but I could not realize that I was doing it.
But you remember,
like I was like stuck on his TV. I was like had to watch this, like something whipped me up to walk out my body and stand up, and without seeing my damn legs and my arms and nothing like that. But I could see in my peripheral me laying in bed. You know, I could see in my peripheral. Like I'm looking at it like, oh shit, I'm in bed. But okay, so and I'm looking at the TV, and I'm just listening to everything he's saying. He's talking about the Lay's potato chips, the milk, the water, everything. You know what I'm saying? And so that freaked me out. I'm like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? And I went back into my body. I woke up the next morning, and I'm like, yo, I rewound the video. Like, I wanted to make sure. I looked at my history, and then I was like, there it go, right there. I see the video. It's a video. He's talking about diet. And he's, you know what it's called? It's called The Truth Will Scare You. It's like a long, drawn-out joint where he even got Mobb Deep on there.
Mobb Deep, okay.
And I remember that because, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I never seen the video, but I've watched some of his stuff. But keep on going. I mean, because what you're saying is you know, I remember I write poetry, right, and I write it really, really well. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one night or one day I played Billie Holiday's "Strange Fruit" so much. I mean, I played it over and I had it on repeat on like one of her albums. and I just played it over and over, and I fell asleep to it. I woke up, I fell asleep to it again, and then when when I finally got up, I was just filled with so much inspiration to write something, and I started writing. Man, I wrote this poem called "The Lynchings," and it's one of my, it's one of my favorite poems, man. It was so deep the way the whole thing just came out. And what I was doing with the poem was using like like nature itself. It was like nature was on trial, and the sun was testifying, and the trees, and the rivers, and the wind, and you know what I mean. Everybody,
wow.
it was crazy. It's dope. I
gotta hear that joint.
You gotta hear that joint, man. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you because I put it up. I mean, I made it. I wrote it, published it in a book that I put out. And then I also made a recording of it, and people love it. I went to Jamaica last year, and they were telling me how much they played it, man. How much they played it on the radio station down there. And I was like, wow.
You gotta upload that on your You gotta upload it with the song playing in the background.
Yeah.
Probably, you know what I mean?
Man. So I know what you're talking about. Like when that information is being soaked up by your consciousness so much that you basically, you separated from yourself and latched onto the information and were conscious enough to look like, damn, I'm over here, but I'm really here. And then
I downloaded that information into my subconscious. That's what it was.
That's crazy. That's powerful, brother.
And the thing is, that's when I realized right then I wasn't my body.
Mm-hmm.
When I woke up that morning, I was not afraid to die. Like that morning, I realized that I had a mission. I had a mission, and from that day, nothing was getting in my way. I let a lot of stuff go. I sacrificed the chick, everybody I was. I had to be by myself, me and information. I just wanted to learn.
What was your life like prior to this awakening? Like you've seen the meme out there. Before I was conscious, I was. What were you doing before? What were you like? Who were you to people?
I'm from New York. I'm from New York. I've been all over. I'm from the tri-state area. I done did prison time. I done, did military time. I done did it all. And I done been everywhere. I've been hustling my whole life. My thing is, I never was the one that wanted to work for nobody. You know what I mean? Working for somebody else never made any kind of sense to me. Mm-hmm. So, I got into all kind of hustles. I was the hustler. You know what I'm saying? If it made money and it was quick and I could get it, that's who I was. I was the money. I needed to get to the money. You know what I'm saying? So I done been through many avenues. Nothing ashames me because I know that my journey was a part of me understanding things and helping people today. You know what I'm saying? So my life journey thus far.
Were you always? Where did you go to school at? And where you? Where?
From the age of 14 to 19, I was in prison. You see what I'm saying? Like I went to jail. Yeah, I was raised in prison.
So you went to school in prison, pretty much. So basically, like, I want to know, like, were you a person that can channel like you're channeling? Were you ever inclined to anything artistic or creative? What did you do? What was your thing? Was it music? Was it dance? Was it painting? What was your creative outlet?
For me, I did a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it's not just one thing that I did. I sung R&B. I wanted to be in an R&B group. We all want to express ourselves.
So the brother could sing.
Yeah, I could blow a little shit. You know what I'm saying? But back in the day, you know what I'm saying? That was my thing. Music.
That's what's up.
That's what R&B was popping back then.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
That's right. That's right.
We all wanted to be R&B singers back then.
Yeah. So, so you did a little singing, did any writing?
Yeah, we did. I did writing. Growing up, but my talent. You know what my talent is?
What?
Surviving. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at surviving. If I had to.
So when your back is against the wall, you feel like
getting to the truth.
When your back is
Huh?
against the wall, do you feel like that's when you thrive the most?
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you this: I'm a truth seeker. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person that I can dissect things to the very essence. You know what I'm saying? And bring it all into perspective. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I have the ability to know how things work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you figure it out.
I know how things work. I don't, you know what I mean? Like a car, I can figure out a car and understand a car. Anything I look at, that's my gift. My gift is I understand how things work.
That's deep. I mean, what you're saying is such a powerful thing. A lot of people don't understand it because, you know, you ask a lot of people a simple question like, yo, who are you? And they'll run off a whole bunch of things about what they do, where they work, you know what I mean, what their name is, which family they're from, you know what I mean, how much money they got in the bank. You understand what I'm saying? But none of that is telling me who you are. You telling me where you work. You telling me, you know your last name. That's not who you are. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm hearing. Like, you know yourself. You know what you're good at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of people don't know what they're good at because, you know, and that's why. And
they go into what they've done instead of saying what their skill is, and the skill is something totally different, and that means they don't know who they are.
Yeah. When I was younger, man, and I was writing and performing, I used to, you know, travel and do spoken word tours and with my books and everything, and you know, I used to go all over Europe. I went to Japan one time. Travel all over huh?
I said, oh, really?
Yeah, I used to go all around the United States, man, and perform at, you know, some of the prestigious colleges and universities they have. And I used to make a living from it, you know what I'm saying? I had 2 books, I was publishing other people. And, you know, I used to always just be locked into the focus that, you know what, I discovered myself. A lot of people have not discovered themselves, so they don't even know what talents they have. Or they may have an inkling of an idea that they can sing or they can whatever, but they're not that confident in it.
Here's the thing: people don't spend enough time by themselves.
Go into
to
that,
really
brother.
figure. Yeah, people don't really spend enough time by themselves to get to know themselves. You have to spend time alone, so you won't be influenced by whatever is around you to figure out who you are.
Teach.
You see what I'm saying? The world is constantly influencing us and telling us what to be. And if you don't separate yourself from it, you will never understand your individuality. You will always see yourself through someone else or judge yourself through something else, subconsciously. You see what I'm saying?
That's deep. That's deep. So solitude is good. It's good to, you know, it's saying something to a friend of mine earlier about the word alone.
Yeah.
And you just look at that word, and alone, it's really like an abbreviated version of the 2 words all one. You see what I'm saying?
Oh wow, yeah.
So you take all one and you understand that you can't add to the all, you can't subtract from it. You are all one when you are alone. You see what I'm saying? And so when you're in that moment of just solitude, you've connected yourself back to the everything. You see what I'm saying? And that's
I apologize about that, bro. I'm walking to my house.
Yeah, and
going through the 3rd dimension here.
Oh, that's all right, brother.
Caucasian 3rd dimension.
It's funny, you know. Every time I watch the videos up in New York or you know, Sonetta. Every time I watch,
I was on Sonetta too. I was on Sonetta.
Yeah. Every time I watch the videos on Sonetta when they're on the street, it seems like sometimes I wonder if it's just something that the city or the system is doing, but there's always an ambulance or police car going by.
Oh, there's always something going on in the city.
But it's
man.
just it's really
You know
just
how
a
it
sound.
is.
It's really just a soundtrack to the life. You understand what I'm saying? You know that
Soundtrack, yeah.
yeah, it's a soundtrack to living, man. You know, this is letting you know that people need help, and some people are trying to help people. You see what I'm saying?
Wow, what's your sign, huh?
I don't really follow the astrological thing too well, so I don't know what I'd be considered.
Yeah, man, you gotta get into the astrology, God. That's the fourth dimension.
The astrology.
You see, what they did was tell you not to look into the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And the sky, what that is the fourth dimension. That tells us the true time.
Mm-hmm.
And I break this down in my videos.
Okay.
The fourth dimension. You got the third dimension, which is nature, right? Your third dimensional body.
Okay.
Then you have time, which is the fourth dimension. Now, their time is on a clock, on a schedule, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Our ancestors' time, like the Mayans, was calculated by the constellations. You see what I'm saying? So astrology is our ancient information when we're speaking about ancient Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about the Maya, we talking about the metaphysics. We got to look at astrology, bro, because astrology is everything. Our whole life is based upon the cosmos. You were just speaking about the sun and the, and the earth, and us moving into the age of Aquarius, right?
Yeah.
That's all astrology.
Yeah, yeah. I
You
mean,
see what I'm saying?
Some of that stuff.
That's the fourth dimension, and we can't even get to the fifth dimension if we can't understand the fourth dimension. See what I'm saying? And so astrology is extremely important because it lets us know our personal energy. It answers a lot of questions, and if you don't mind, I'd love to do your personal chart. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I would love for you to do that, brother. And you let me know when you'd like to do that, or what we need to do to get started.
Yeah, I could do that. I could do that for you. And send it to you off of Facebook. Just get with me. Send me your info, and that's what I do. I do astrology, bro.
Okay, good. I mean, that's something I definitely wanna get in some insight and some information on. I know some of the basic stuff, but as far as the horoscope stuff that a lot of people do on a day-to-day basis, I think sometimes people are just trying to fit themselves into what feels good for them, and so like I consider myself a mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm a thought that can think. So what it is that when you understand that whether you're born in January or February, March, April, or whichever month you want to say you fall under, your conception is where, if anything, is when you were born. It's at least into this physical realm. And your conception, if it was 9 months of gesticulation inside the womb, that would take me back all the way to April, right? So that would make me more like a Gemini.
See that I just did the video on that today. I was addressing a brother talking about we was the sperm.
Yeah.
And actually, you come into the body at birth.
Exactly.
The body is just dormant and laying dormant, and it's living and feeding and breathing off the mother.
It's like coming into life.
So it's an extension of the mother at the time it's on the umbilical cord.
Yeah.
Once the umbilical cord is released, and I break this down in the video, man, and there's two holes, one in the heart and one in the lungs, that close up during the first breath. And if you look up the word soul, and the Latin meaning of the word soul, you'll see it means breath, right? Because they knew in the ancients that we came into the body at birth through the atmosphere.
There you go.
Or whatever the moon and how the stars were aligned at the time depend on your personality, and it all is our information. So when I show you this stuff, and then you read about it and you hear about it, and you like, yo, that's crazy. How they know that? And you be like, that's your ancestors. It's whitewashed now. Just like I'm pretty sure 30, 40 years ahead, when we look at hip hop, it's not gonna be black. It's gonna be whitewashed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we created hip hop, right? But 30, 40, 50, 60, maybe 100 years from now, when they look at hip hop, if they do ever find it, they're gonna say M9ND was the king of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Or he created hip hop. Or they might make it look like, you know, like they did with Jesus, like they did with astrology, like they did with all they whitewash it. You know what I'm saying?
I think their time. I think their time is up. I don't think they have any more time to get away with none of that stuff. Even though like our people sometimes exhibit, you know, this memory lapse and this tendency to always just want to, like, you know, accommodate people to make them feel comfortable. I think with enough of us waking up right now, and it starts with us, you know what I mean? We got to speak whatever we want into existence. And I know exactly. I know exactly what you're saying, because, you know, they've done so much of the same things, and this is what makes it difficult for us in a lot of regards as melanated people to be prejudiced, because we're only reacting to what's already been done before over and over again. And to be prejudiced means to judge before, judge without knowing. But we have so much knowledge of all the tricks and the lies and the deceptive things that's been done to keep us down, that we don't have to see it happen, you know, for the 5th or the 6th time. It's already happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, many times already. You know what I mean? And not
but
just.
I gotta tell you something.
Yes, go ahead, my brother.
I gotta say something on to play devil's advocate here. I'm a firm believer that we are our own enemies. We are our greatest enemies, and everything that's ever happened to us is our fault.
Well,
a lot of black people don't like that. Black people don't like that.
What if I tell you that I agree with you?
Then you be a wise man.
I agree with you because, like, you see, the thing is, a lot of times the reason why that people can't hold on to that logic is because they're disconnected. You see, they've taken away the power from themselves and believe they can, you know, they're looking for something outside themselves to blame. And that's why we've gotten fooled so much times, because we don't realize that the reason why, you know, the reason why anything happened to you is based on your knowledge and your preparation, your readiness, and all of these different things. You see what I'm saying? You are in the driver's seat of your life right now. So if you turn out to be a fat, lazy, you know, drunken slob 10 years from now, it's because you took on habits that you could have curtailed right now. You couldn't say, you know what, 10 years from now, I want the next 10-year-old version, the next if I'm 40, I want the 50-year-old version of me to be a reader. I want him to be fit. I want him to be whatever, you understand? And then I start doing those things to make sure that 10 years from now, that person that I aspire to be manifests itself. You see what I'm saying? Right. So the power is always in your hand. You know, look, I know you and you know me, but the only thing is that I know you as myself and you know me as yourself, and we're both keeping the information until we share it. But you are me and I am you. We are the all. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm not disconnected from the you know that what you're talking about. I get it completely. And the people who don't get that, you know, they you know, it's because they're not thinking 360. You know, they're almost there, but they're not completely there. You know, and probably with a little bit more time they'll get there.
That's a fact. You're right. That's a fact.
Yeah. But yeah. So.
But yeah, back to what I was saying about me waking up. So I'm watching this video, and I get up the next morning and I go in my refrigerator. First I rewinded the video, you know, of this guy, right? He's breaking down all this information. I start going in my refrigerator and my cabinets and bringing everything out, looking on Google and everything on the box. I want to make sure everything in my kitchen is A1. What am I putting in my body? I wanted to know what I was putting in my body first. And the woman I was with at the time was like, yo, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm throwing all of this away. This is all trash. It's all poison. What do you mean? Yo, word is going. I got into an argument with her and all that. Like, it was crazy over me throwing away everything in the refrigerator. Like, my awakening was like, yo, and once you know something, I'm the type of person like this. Once I know something, I ain't the dude that could be playing around with stuff. You know what I mean? I'm going to get right to it. Once I know I'm wrong, that's cool. I'm going to make it right. What we going to do to make it right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's get it right. And some people got information, but they don't use it. I think a lot of people are very smart.
Very, very smart.
They're smart dummies.
Very, very
because
smart.
they got all the information, but they'll never apply it.
And
I talk to a lot of brothers. They be like, yeah, I know about that. And they go right and do dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you know better, you do better.
Yeah, I mean, that's the trick right there. You know what I'm saying, brother? That's the trick right there. Like, knowledge, you know, it said to know and to not do is to not know. So a lot of people say they know and they don't do, which is letting you know that they don't really know. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot where I saw this. I believe I read it in, let me see, I think I have it in this book right here. Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization by Anthony Browder. You read that book? And he has the
I don't do books.
Oh, you don't do books?
I don't do books.
You never did books at all?
I'm a firm, I don't do book guy because books come from trees. And I'm Natureboy. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I believe that whoever wrote that book, their information came from within. You know what I'm saying? And our ancestors didn't write on books because we understood that we could knock down a tree and make it into paper, but we didn't do that. We wrote on the walls. We wrote in our hearts. We wrote in our hearts. We knew we wrote it. It's coded in your DNA.
Yeah. They did,
you know what I'm saying?
They did papyrus
so
too.
We wrote. Yeah, they just gave us symbols. Symbols that meant something that we could see today that echoed into the future. Now we got the unk on us, but don't really know what the unk means.
Yeah, that's a whole like that's a great conversation. That's a great conversation to have. I think you know a lot of people mean well and you know what I mean, and they're looking for something. People are searching for the truth, and a lot of times the quickest way to exhibit or to show where you are is to just give a signal or symbol. You know what I mean? That's why logos are so powerful, because they tell you about something without, you know, saying a whole lot. So a lot of times people throw on these, you know, even before they were conscious, the ones that you wear all the crucifixes. You know what I'm saying? They're not necessarily living the lifestyle or living true to the lifestyle that, you know, being a Christian is supposed to be. You know what I mean? But they wear that crucifix to, you know, to try to like let you know this is, you know, I'm a Christian. And so, you know, it's more they call it symbol than substance, you know what I'm saying? Because to fully understand you know what the symbol is, you know what I mean, you have to it's not just about wearing it. It's about living and being true to that thing, you know what I'm saying? And people, it's so hard to just to live the truth, brother. Why is that? Why is it so hard to live the truth? Why is it so much easier?
When you live in a world that's a lie, then the currency, like the current of the, like if you're in the ocean and the current is pushing you this way, it's going to be harder for you to swim against the current. You know what I'm saying? So the whole world, you step outside, you just on the internet, wherever you at, turn left, turn right, it's pushing you a certain way. And that's the only weapon they got now. The only weapon they got is to distract us. Because before they could hide information from us, it was against the law for us to understand information. But now all of it's in your face, and the only weapon they got is to distract you. That's it. And they good at it, man. They good at it. They got all your senses distracted.
That's deep. That's deep.
You know what I'm saying? They make sure they distract you.
This is what I was trying to tell you right here. It's called Know Thyself, and it's a modern adaptation of an ancient proverb. It says, "A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. Teach them. A person who knows not and believes that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. A person who knows,
that's a dangerous motherfucker.
yeah, a person who knows and knows not that they know is asleep. Awaken them. A person who knows and knows
Wait, repeat that one.
A person who knows and knows not that they know is asleep. Awaken them. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All of these persons reside in you. Know thyself and to ma'at be true. And I think the category a lot of people fall in is that one that you asked me.
What's the name of that book?
It's called Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization. Explode in the Myths, Volume 1 by Anthony Browder. It's a brother, introduction by Janet Henry Clark. And
I'm gonna try to see if I can get that ebook.
Yeah, I could send you the this very thing right here that I just read.
Yeah.
I could shoot that to you. But I think a lot of people, like for me, because I always say learning is only remembering. All you're doing is remembering. You're not, people think learning is like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody's giving you something brand new. No, you're just remembering. Because even in the word education or educate or educere, right? It means to lead out. But you can't lead out what's not already there. You know what I mean? You have to lead out something that's already there. You see what I'm saying? So when you're learning these things that you're learning, even the things that you say, you're channeling or that come to you, you're just remembering. And it's dope sometimes when you just all of a sudden you remember something. Sometimes you forget and it annoys the hell out of us, because you be on the cusp of saying something and you're like, oh man. And that's what it's been like for us over the last 2,000 plus years. A lot of us just we've been wiped. Like what I'm saying?
That's a really cool way of putting it.
Yeah, we've been wiped, and so now we come back online. You see what I'm saying? And the awakening is taking place where you see women in droves. I know this, man. I see my wife, I see my daughter, I see my best friend, his girl, his sister. People, all kinds of people just all around me, all around the same time, just all go natural. Boom, as if some wave, something hit them and just like corrected whatever, what was going on with them. And it showed up in their head. It's like if today my hair was completely black and then tomorrow, it was just completely white. You'd know that something happened. You'd be like, damn, Tehut, what happened to you? You know what I'm saying? Something happened. So something happened with these women. All these women just go natural all at the same time. And this wasn't because of some trend. This wasn't like, this is the new thing in. You know what I'm saying? My little daughter, and she never had no perm or relaxers in her hair, but like she came to me straight and I was like, Daddy, I want to get locks. And I was like, wow. Then my wife, who, was always had like, her hair was always long, but she had it relaxed. And then she said to me, I came home and she was like, cut it off for me. I was like, I'm not touching your hair. And then you hate me for cutting your hair, So I didn't even want, and she was like, no, I'm ready to do it. Just cut it. And so, she's natural. And my boy in New York, his girl, his sister, my other friend. I saw all of this happen within the same time period. So I knew something is going on in the planet, and coming up from 2011, with all of the stuff around 2012, of course, people were talking about the return of the ancient ones, and whether the dates were correct or incorrect. Something happened, or something was happening. A shift was taking place. We were entering into another phase of our system. And it's the changes were beginning to manifest, and you saw it especially with the women. Because, you know, I think I read this on your one of your things where you said, you know, if you teach a man, you teach an individual. But if you teach a woman, you teach a nation.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's powerful because, you know, that's where it needs to start. You know what I mean? It really needs to start with the women, and just to see the energy, just, you know, take them from the extension of their nervous system, their hair, and just correct it back in so that they could get the right frequency. Because I think that a lot of times that's what happens with us, is that we're not on the right frequency. You see what I'm saying? We can't hear each other. It's not that like what you're saying to people. The reason why they think it's crazy is because they can't understand it. They're not on the right frequency yet. When, you know, it's like you're trying to listen to on an AM station, but you can't get it clear, and you only you know, until you get it at the right place or get a clear you know, alignment with the signal, you won't get it. You won't come through clean. But when it comes through clean, it's gonna be powerful. You know what I'm saying? And so they've been spraying the skies and polluting the food and all this stuff to try to block the energy from coming through, but it still came through. You know?
Can't stop it, bro. They can't stop it.
Can't stop it. So the awakening, man, I think this is the time we're in. We're in a time of awakening. And the question is, you know, what happens when we fully awaken?
Now, so what I've done was, over the years, I've become, I went back into the world. I went back in, and to the point I just stopped desiring the whole world, man. Everything in the world I desire, I didn't desire anything, man. I was smoking cigarettes. I was smoking Black and Milds. I was drinking alcohol. I did it all, man, you know? And I had no desire for none of it, man. I disciplined myself off all the drugs, all the wrong foods, cold turkey, meat, everything, cold turkey.
You just gave it up.
Bro, you talking about astral projection? When you cold turkey take yourself out the third dimension, oh, weird stuff still happening to you.
Like what? What still happened to you?
I mean, you can expect waking up in other dimensions. I done woke up in a whole nother reality before, bro. Real talk. I'm literally, look, feel, real, everything. Just woken up in a whole nother reality.
Break that down for us, bro. I mean, not break it down like it, you know.
I woke up and I knew I was in the bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I told you, my eyelids would always close and then they were open. I could feel my eyelids open, but I know that my eyelids are closed. I wake up in the hospital bed. And the reality that's still similar to this reality. I look to the left. It's some guy I knew that was like one of my barbers from, you know, on my barbershop. And I'm talking to him like it ain't nothing. I asked him about the nurse, and he tell me, you know, yeah, she's cute and everything. I'm like, I realized, like, at some point I'm like, wait a minute. I'm dreaming. And then I wake up. But when I wake up, I'm not up. I don't know what's reality, because when I wake up, I'm not in this reality. I go to another reality. And things are upside down. I'm on a slope. And now I'm really confused, because it got to a point, I've gotten to points where I didn't know if this was real or what was real. I was projecting. I was astral projecting, but I don't know. I didn't know where I was at.
Where do you? Oh, so you don't know where you? Okay, you don't know where you at.
I didn't know what was real. I didn't know what was real. There's dimensions, and there's places that are higher vibrations that feel more real. You know how you feel real? You smack your hand. This feels like it's real, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's other dimensions that I visited where everything is alive. everything is, you can feel everything. You communicate different. It's just a different experience, a whole nother realm. And then you come back to this one, and when you wake up, you're like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at, right? This is real, right? This is real. And you really don't know, for a minute there, you really don't know what's real. You know what I'm saying? And you like, what is real?
So
and as I'm speaking, and people going to hear this interview, they're going to be like, yo, that's happened to me, because I know people, when I speak, they be like, yo, you spoke my mind. I know I'm not the only one that experienced this. I know our people out here experienced it. And I'm going to do another video tomorrow about this.
So
not knowing what's real.
So, where do you think we come from? Who do you think we are?
Well, to me, we're God.
And clarify that, so the viewers or whoever who probably is just not at that level yet could understand exactly how you mean it, and you know.
Right. Think about it like this: there's a white light. This light shining through is God. And the prism, it hits a prism, and when God hits a prism, it turns into all these lights, right? These colors. And the colors, red, orange, yellow, purple, blue, indigo, all these colors are me and you. I'm red, you're blue, right? That would be the illusion. The illusion is behind the prism, we're the same thing. We're God, we're one. We're all that is and all that will be. I'll give you another example. Think of a sheet of glass, and this sheet of glass is called God. This sheet of glass shatters into trillions, quadrillions in pieces, right? You and me are a piece of that glass. Now the glass is God. Here you are, and me and you was in a conversation, and you asked me, who am I? And I say, well, I'm glass. And you're like, no, you're not. You can't be glass. Yes, I'm glass. No, you're square. No, that's my form. That's my shape. I am in a form of a square, but I'm glass. And you're like, what? Like, yeah, I'm glass. Now, what does it look like you being a piece of glass saying, oh, glass, you've been so good to me. Glass, you know what? Thank you, glass. Oh, glass, I'm going to pray, and I'm going to just make sure that glass look down on you. Glass been so good to you. Look at glass. Here you are, a piece of glass, and all that you can be is the glass.
Yeah.
And you don't know you the glass. I'm the piece of glass that's like, I'm glass. And everybody looking at me crazy.
Yeah.
I am glass. And they're like, you can't be glass. Glass is too big for you to be. But I'm like, I'm a piece of glass, and if you look at the glass and you examine it, all that the glass can be is the glass.
Period. Period.
You see what I'm saying?
Period.
It's diluted, but it is the glass. That's all. And the glass is God, right? It's equivalent to God. So here I am. Society teaches you that you're your shape. No, you're a triangle. You're a triangle. Yeah, I know I'm in triangle form, but I'm a triangle piece of glass. They're like, no, you're not. You're just triangle. That means you're black or you're white or you're male or you're female, whatever the form you took in, God has taken it into. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so when a person doesn't understand that they are the glass, they are sick. Stay away from them. And like you said, you read it just now. When people don't know who they are, they cannot love themselves. You can't love yourself if you don't know yourself. So if you don't know yourself, then how could you ever be in a love relationship with anyone else?
That's deep.
When love is understanding, and the first point of love is loving yourself, and loving yourself is knowing yourself, and you don't know that you God, then you don't know yourself.
Yeah.
You really don't know who you are. So how can you love me? And that's why I said people don't know what love is. Because love is understanding and love is knowing yourself. And if you knew yourself, then you would know that you were God. But now we're coming in the age where we realize I am. And that's why they crucified the Yahshua. Yahshua got crucified because he said, I am God. I am the Son of Man.
You know, the funny thing is, we all have a self, right? And that's what we call it. We all have a self. A self?
What you mean?
We all have a self. We all say, we say myself, ourself, right? And it's funny how, you know, the word ourself and yourself and myself, and all the suffix of it is self. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the most significant aspect of our, my, or your is the self. So what is the self? The self is the same for my, for you, for your, and for our. It's the same self. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same self. It's just one energy. You know, manifesting all the different possibilities of itself. So that's why I said to you earlier, you are me and I am you. You understand what I'm saying? You are just a different version of a self that I could be. And I'm a version of a self that you could have been. You understand what I'm saying?
Of course I do. You know I do.
Yeah, even in my relationship with my wife and my kids, they're just versions of what I could be. You know what I mean? So I'm married to a version of what
you are. Not good.
Yeah, well, exactly, because they're there, exactly. But, you know, just for the sake of teaching those people who can't really, you know, ingest it right off the top, sometimes you have to break it down for them, so, you know, they understand that life is imagination, and everything you're seeing, you're imagining. You know what I mean? Because reality changes the moment you look at it. You know, you can't see reality with these eyes.
Quantum physics. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So. I like what you were saying earlier in the beginning of the conversation, how you have an analytical mind, and you are able to understand things, and you know how things work, and you can figure things out. You know, that's a powerful thing. That's a very, very powerful thing, because, you know, a lot of us don't have that. We haven't unlocked those abilities in ourselves yet. You know what I mean? We still have to be told everything. Somebody has, you know, we've gotten to the point where we don't want to think anymore. Where we can't, you know, like you talked about the solitude and being alone, and people are uncomfortable with that. You know, they're driving in their car and they got to turn on the radio because they you know, they can't be with themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're hungry and they're like, man, I don't want to eat by myself. I got to find somebody to eat with. I want to talk to somebody. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, but it's powerful at the same time, you know, just being aware and then trying to share this back with people who, in the end, turn around, and sometimes I'm sure, you know, we say things that they themselves don't understand. You know what I mean? Things that only belittle themselves. Their understanding of where you are in your you know, your evolution of thought and your idea, your conception of yourself. Because, like, you're unlocking things that, it sounds strange, but it would sound strange to somebody 200 years ago. You told them that we was gonna have instant message and Facebook, and, you know, we'd be flying from here to there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we can imagine, you know, you taking somebody from their physical existence or frame of reference, not even the existence, because the existence is something else. You know what I mean? Their physical frame of reference in this dimension, and you explain to them that you're much more than this, because, you know, you couldn't just be you as you are. You've never not been, because you had a mother and a father, and they had a mother and a father, and a mother and a father, and a mother, and it goes on and on ad infinitum, and you were always there, because if one of those pieces were missing, you could never be. You understand what I'm saying? So
Facts.
when
You
you
know
say
I do.
when you say I am God, you know, if the beginning of all thing goes back to the beginning, right? Then you know it's the same thing even to the very end, because there was no was at the beginning. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
You know, it's just I am. So I am, and I always will be. Not I was. You know? So the power is there, and the knowledge is becoming more and more clear. And you know, nature, who I believe is not a person as how we talk about people with arms and legs. You know, nature is like a huge energy blanket, you know, where you know all the threads in that blanket are you know are vibrating, you know, like chords. You know what I mean? That's where the string theory and all these different things come from. Nature has figured every single
Man.
possibility out. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing we're gonna do to deter it or throw it off course. It's moving the natural and the unnatural to work for the outcome that it wants. And it always brings things back into balance. So that's why I tell people that as messed up as the world is right now, it's funny because people are sometimes just missing what's going on, because you know what I mean they still like being indoctrinated so heavy by a lot of what they watch on television, or you know just you know they just haven't unlocked. But what nature has done is nature has brought itself back to the fore of like consciousness, where it has to be worshipped, it has to be taken into regard the natural way. You see what I'm saying? We've been off track for so long, and now all everybody is eating organic. They're doing this. It's nature. You come back to nature. It's bringing
Yeah,
you
man.
right back. Yeah, it doesn't matter what Monsanto and all these. I mean, it matters, but what I'm saying is that in the end, it's gonna come back into balance. And so sometimes when things come back into balance, it's you know it because people get comfortable living on the side of the volcano. Don't mean that when the volcano get ready to erupt and do what it's supposed to do to bring forth new things, you know, just because you've been living on the mountain, the side of the mountain, all comfortable for the last 1,000 or 2,000 years, it doesn't mean that when the time comes, you know, all of that, all of what you, all these things that you glorify and find comfort will be removed, because it's not it's taking a natural order out of balance. It's keeping things out of balance, and nature always bring things back into balance. And so, you know, when that balance comes, it's gonna come violent. It's gonna come with you know to counter all the violence that's been done to throw things out. And so, you know, people lose their money, people lose their minds, people lose their rank. You understand what I'm saying? Because everything has to come back into balance. And that's why I love about some of the things that you talk about on your channel, on your page. And you just, you know, being you know, that spirit. You know what I mean? I remember watching a video of you burning the sage. Was it the sage?
Yeah, sage, man. Get the negative vibes out. Yep.
And I thought that was like, I mean, I was watching you burn the sage, and I'm telling you, it was a video, but it's almost as if that, you know what I mean, I could smell the sage in my office or wherever I was.
Yeah, man, that's how I wanted to make it, like, you know.
Yo, that joint was so powerful, man. I'm like, damn, this is like some electronic cleansing going on right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
This brother is
right,
transmitting
right.
through the
Yeah, that's
through the
what
technology.
it's supposed to be for. Yeah,
Yeah.
to connect like that.
It's
Yeah.
powerful, man. It's powerful.
Yeah, that's called energy. You know, smoke is energy.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I mean, I know we have a lot more to talk about. I didn't want the conversation to go on, you know, too long. I just wanted to build with you, and I'd love to invite you on again so we could definitely continue this conversation, brother, because I think that, you know, there's so much that our people can learn, especially from those who are you know, not necessarily going along with the customs of our education. You know what I mean? Our education hasn't really been an education, it's been a miseducation. We haven't been led out into anything, we've been led back. You know what I mean? And so I think people like you and me and others who in my own way I consider us thinkers. You know what I mean? Those who inspire others to think about things they weren't even thinking about thinking. And that's how I see myself, and that's how I see brothers and sisters like you. You know, I see us as thinkers. You know what I'm saying? And the ancestors told us that all is mind, the universe is mental. So it's gonna take a new mindset. It's gonna take new thoughts. You know what I mean, to get us where we need to get to, because everything is a byproduct for our thinking. And so we need the thinkers to basically unlock the people and get them back on the thinking path. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate you being on the show.
It's been good, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
And I'd love to continue this conversation again. Well, this is Natureboy, y'all. Make sure y'all check him out on YouTube at Natureboy TV, and he's on Facebook. Brother, give them your social media links so people can link you up.
Everything Natureboy. Everything is Natureboy. Anywhere you go, Instagram, just put in Natureboy. I'm gonna pop up. You're gonna see me. Black man, beard, blue background.
All right.
Natureboy.
Respect. Well, thank you so much, my brother. And we definitely gotta talk some.
Me again, man.
We definitely gotta talk some more, and we'll talk some more offline about that reading too. Okay.
No doubt.
All right. Much love. Respect.